Welcome to the SPE podcast, powered by the Society of Petroleum Engineers. You're listening to SPE Live Regional Director Series, Driving Decarbonization in the Asia-Pacific Energy Sector, Opportunities and Challenges. The audio from this episode was previously recorded on May 13th, 2025.
Hi, welcome to this SPE Live Driving Decarbonization in the Asia-Pacific Energy Sector, Opportunities and Challenges. I'm Margareta Tali Harjanti, Vice President of Pertamina Energy Institute and also ASCOP Indonesia Country Coordinator. I will be your moderator for today's sessions. As Asia-Pacific balance growing energy demand with the global call for net zero emission, it is crucial that we are explore practical, science-based solutions to accelerate decarbonization, while also ensuring energy security and economic growth. This 30-minute session is designed to spotlight perspective from leading voices in these regions. We encourage you to share your questions in the live chat, and we will address as many as possible during the Q&A at the end of the sessions. So it's now my pleasure to introduce our distinguished speakers. Hazli Kassim is the Vice President of Development, Upstream PETRONAS. He is responsible for steering PETRONAS upstream growth, technical solution and standards, governance, as well as providing specialized services focusing on the entire upstream value chain. Hazli is well regarded amongst industry peers and was appointed as the Society of Petroleum Engineers Asia Pacific Regional Director in April 2023. Previously, he was awarded the 2017 SPE Northern Asia Pacific Regional Service Award. Mr. Hazli earned his Bachelor of Science degree in Petroleum Engineering, honor and cum laude, from Texas A&M University and attended the Advanced Management Program in Harvard Business School in 2017. Dr. Koji Yamamoto is the Asia Pacific Regional Director of SPE and serves as the Senior Counselor and the Chief Technology Officer of the Energy Business Unit at the Japan Organization for Metal and Energy Security. With a strong background in geomechanics and numerical modeling, Dr. Yamamoto specializes in the model-based inversion process of dynamic subsurface structures. Dr. Yamamoto has also been at the forefront of developing innovative technologies, including unconventional resources such as gas hydrates and carbon capture and storage. He earned his PhD from Tohoku University in 2004 and is also a lecturer at Kyoto and Kyushu universities. Hazli and Koji, welcome to the SPE Live. We honored to have both of you here.
Thank you, Margareta.
All right, so that's right. Good morning. So we can start our framing by the policy landscapes. So you know that the robust policy and regulations are very critical to achieving net zero carbon goals. What is your view on the current policy and regulation in Asia Pacific country in promoting the right behaviors among energy producers and consumers to reduce carbon emissions? Hazli, perhaps you can share your insight first, followed by Dr. Koji.
I think in Asia Pacific, we have many countries with different level of the policy and the regulation maturity, and the energy need or energy of this country also are very much different. So, but I think all the countries are moving towards one thing. They want to enable all this decarbonization. They want to enable CCS, CCUS, but everybody is working on it at a different rate, at different stage. But that's for sure, everybody's working towards that. I think the one thing that I noticed, for example, like Margareta, she's part of ASCOP. ASCOP is basically, at least in the ASEAN country, where all the national oil companies working together to share, to discuss about policies needed. I think they're all moving towards that. I think the intent is there, the effort is there, but we are not there yet.
How about you, Dr. Koji? You have some insight?
Okay. Of course, already Hazli said, there are a lot of different situations in countries, and of course, the absence of clear and consistent policies and regulation contribute to the uncertainty and elevated business risk in the deployment of net zero technologies. Without the institutional interest, private sector might hesitate to make any decision on implementing and executing real projects. Fortunately, in my observation, the current situation of Asia-Pacific region about this matter seems to be far better than the other regions, such as the United States and EU countries, where the matter has become a kind of a political matter, a political dispute, but not a science and engineering discussion. Already, countries such as Australia, Japan, Indonesia, Korea, and Malaysia have announced policies and regulation to promote the CCS, carbon capture and storage, and Thailand and Vietnam are designing the policies. Situation over the hydrogen, it is a little bit more complicated because the countries have different positions, but Japan and Korea have announced a hydrogen economy roadmap. And Australia and Japan have launched economical support programs. In the case of energy exporting countries, already many real projects have started, but still in feasibility study or FEED stages, waiting for the FID, because the economics of the project are not clear. And it depends on the country's policies, not only the countries of exporting country, but importing country, because it can make the market of hydrogen. The task of us engineer is bringing a clear message, clear and right message to policymakers and regulators about science and industrial reality. Unfortunately, sometimes discussion about the policies and regulation do not reflect such realities. And I'm afraid such unrealistic rule is implemented that can be the obstacle for the business. Quite important matter is international collaboration and coordination, because both the CO2 and fuels are transported over the borders, and international framework should be established. One typical example is a multinational CO2 cross-border transport. In this viewpoint, safety and responsibility of leakage risk from storage site are many times discussed and focused on the discussion. So engineers should support such discussions. Already, AZEC, Asia Zero Emission Community, was established by 11 countries, including Japan, Australia, and ASEAN countries. Under this framework, many discussions have been made. Also, Asia Energy Transition Initiative was formed. Under this framework, human resource development has been made. To communicate with the policymakers and the regulators, we engineers should be conscious of such non-technical matters and make effort to have a good communication with them. It is my view.
Okay, so thank you for the insightful reflections on policies and regulations. So I think we can continue to our carbon capture, utilizations, and storage, because you say, as the saying goes, energy is not the problem, carbon is, right? Achieve advancement in the CCS are very crucial for reducing emission across the energy value chain. So Koji, could you share your perspective on the key challenges facing CCUS today and how industry is responding on this?
Okay. We are engineers, so main point of we are looking for is technical challenges, and the point is ensuring safety. It is an essential part of engineer for the engineers. CCUS projects include many technologies, different aspects of the technologies: capture, transport, storage, and petroleum engineers mainly responsible for the storage part of the CCS. One is site characterization. Geologists, geochemists, geophysicists, petrophysicists are working. And another one, the CO2 leakage mitigation, detection, and remediation. And geophysicists, facility engineers are responsible on it. And well engineering, it is a very important part for minimizing leakage risk, including remediation of existing boreholes. So it is a great task for the drilling and completion engineers. Predicting and controlling CO2 plume migration, it is a difficult task, but reservoir engineers, technology and knowledge can be used. Such matters what we should be involved, and current oil and gas technology can be utilized. One thing, along with the policy and regulations, finance system and insurance are important to create business, and people of those sectors want to know about technologies and reality about subsurface. So us engineers should speak up about such a reality of subsurface world, because there are many uncertainties, heterogeneities, complexities. So we know about it, and they, policymakers and finance sector people want to know about it. It is my viewpoint.
Thank you, Koji. And Hazli, I would love to hear your perspective as well as the opportunity CCUS presents for energy producers in Asia Pacific.
I think the CCS or CCUS allow us, the energy producer, to be able to produce, for example, the highly contaminated gases or hydrocarbon product, properly. For example, we can no longer venting or even flaring some of the thing that some of the contaminated gases like what we had done in the past. So I think the CCS, CCUS technology at least allow us, for example, to develop all these difficult resources, highly contaminated resources. I think allow us to do so, while at the same time, the other energy sources is being matured. So in the future, I think moving forward, I believe more of the energy sources will be expanded instead of us transitioning out of the oil and gas. So moving forward, the oil and gas is still needed, just that we need a way to be able to produce hydrocarbon responsibly. I just want to add a little bit what Koji said, which he has said very clearly. In our experience, CCS is still very expensive. For example, the highly contaminated gas project can easily double in cost just because we only need to do CCS. So we need the technology to mature, we need the cost to go down, and like Koji said, for example, hopefully the financial system will also support the project.
Yeah, thank you. Those are very clear and thought-provoking talking points from all of you. As we explore these complex issues, it is important to also reflect on how professional community like SPE can support the progress. So you both have been involved for SPE for many years. In your view, what role should SPE play in supporting decarbonization effort across the energy value chains? Hazli, would you like to go first?
I've been in SPE for 30 plus years since my student years. SPE has also been a platform for the oil and gas personnel to share knowledge, to exchange and to collaborate and to discuss. I think that's something that SPE must continue to do so, and I believe we are doing that. For example, I've seen now, like workshop, CCS, CCUS, workshop on hydrogen. And there are so many other workshops, for example, or conferences even in renewable energy. So I think SPE must continue to do so. That is how SPE can help with the decarbonization efforts across.
Yes, thank you. What is your view, Dr. Koji?
Yeah, already Hazli told SPE can give us a chance of giving us a platform for the discussions. It is very important. And already we have made some efforts. One example is hydrogen. And hydrogen supply chain of, for example, blue hydrogen, including CCS, is very important. And it is a new challenge for the E&P industry because new stakeholders such as hydrogen users, utility companies, transportation sectors, and hydrogen shipping companies, such people should be involved. And SPE can provide a platform discussion of the dialogue. In March this year, SPE and JAPT, Japanese Association for the Petroleum Technologies, jointly made a workshop in Tokyo. It is titled as CCUS and Low Carbon Fuels. It was held in Tokyo with more than 90 participants. That occasion, it was a quite good chance to interconnect the E&P industry with such new stakeholders because we could successfully invite the people from trade firm, engineering companies, and automobile companies as Toyota. And also, we could invite the people from the law firms and Japanese government, Ministry of Economy, Trade, Industry. So we could learn about the industrial reality of the user side of hydrogen and also the policy and regulation, current status of such discussions. So I suppose that in June, the next hydrogen symposium of SPE will be held in Jakarta. It should be the next chance of such dialogues. Of course, we can utilize the chance of occasions for making a dialogue and discussions. And SPE will play a very important role. And I want to introduce just a new agenda of our activity about natural hydrogen. It is a new E&P opportunity. Now, about this natural hydrogen, not artificially made hydrogen, now the G&G people are mainly working, but our next stage, stimulation technology, should be studied. And their application of oil and gas are geothermal technologies. Water injected and reacted with the rock, ultramassive rock, it can create a hydrogen. And technology such as hydraulic fracturing should be essential for the operation of making a hydrogen. So SPE can be SPE members and SPE member can give us knowledge, and SPE can create the platform of discussion. I'm very interested about this matter. It is a future matter, but very interesting for me.
Just can I add a bit more, Margareta?
Yes, please.
I think SPE also has a role to play with the young people, especially the students. I think SPE has a lot of content, and we're doing that also to educate the young people on the importance of the energy industry, the importance of oil and gas industry, and the importance on the thing that we need to do in order to keep the lights on moving forward. And again, to tell people that the young people, please come and join the industry. We are responsible to energize the world, and we want to do it right. Thank you.
I totally agree.
I think it's good to have some community to talk about this kind of discussion. I remind all the audience, if you have any questions, please submit your question in the live chat, and we will answer that question after the sessions. So I think it's quite interesting discussion. So let's shift to another critical often under discussed greenhouse gas like methane. So when we discuss about global warming and greenhouse gases, the focus is often on CO2, while methane, as far we know, a far more potent greenhouse gas is receive less attention. What do you think about that? What the importance of addressing methane emissions? Dr. Koji, would you like to start how methane mitigation is so important and what's being done so far?
Yeah, of course, it is a quite important matter. Japan is a LNG importing countries, and counting and reducing methane emission from the imported natural gas a crucial task to reduce GHG from our own GHG inventory. It is not a matter of energy producing country, but also the energy consuming country, importing countries like Japan, Korea, Singapore. So such countries are working very eagerly to reduce the methane emission from the energy exporting countries. we can get the fruit. Interesting thing is we can get the fruit of a reduction of CO2 emission earlier than CO2 because the lifetime of methane is shorter. So if we can stop the methane emission now, the effect of greenhouse will be seen soon. It is very important and essential. Also, reduction of leakage can be the profit of companies, oil, gas producing companies. Of course, gas exporting company, producing company wants to stop the leak. So it is a benefit for the both exporter and importers. OGMP, Oil and Gas Methane Partnership, is a framework for the reporting and reducing methane emission from the industry. And many companies, of course, Asian companies, are working for this OGMP framework. And recently, some connection between the importing country and exporting country has been made. Clean initiative, collaborative effort is a collaborative effort by LNG buyers and of Japan and Korea, aiming to reduce methane emission across the entire liquefied natural gas value chain. So, from the production to the consumption. And under this initiative, it focuses on the collecting information of methane emission reduction effort from LNG producers and sharing best practices and promoting cleaner supply chains. One important technical matter is standardized MRV monitoring and reporting and verification technologies. It is a very important and essential, and my team has worked in Indonesia to try using emission measurement technologies, and my company and PETRONAS are working together to establish a test bed of such technologies. Result of those efforts should be widely shared in the industry, and it can be useful for the industry and the world, I suppose.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Koji. I remember last time, I think several months ago, we have visited from ASCOP, going to the Dongi Matinok to see the technology of methane emissions calculations. Yeah, it's very good, and ASCOP is coordinating for that such visits. Yeah. And Hazli, could you comment on this? How do you see from operators like PETRONAS adapting these scenarios?
I think let me just comment on why people are more concerned about CO2 than about methane. I think just a matter of awareness. Like even for me, I think I don't know when I started to learn that methane is more potent than CO2. I was very surprised. You can see, for example, even after how many years, the methane, like 30, over 100 years, methane still about 30 times more potent than CO2 as far as, being the greenhouse gases. I think for operator like us, like I said earlier, for example, the license to operate is that make sure that you are able to handle all these GHG gases responsibly. That basically you need to capture it, you need to inject it somewhere, you need to turn into some other products. So it's something that we need to do moving forward. It is something that I think the producers are doing. Just to add to what Koji said earlier, for example, together with JOGMEC, I think we collaborate on how to enhance R&D and MMV related to CCS and CCUS. I think we have planned some test bed in Malaysia, in the state of Terengganu and in the state of Perak with the universities. So it's important for us to do so. I think as energy producers, I'm sure that all of us are committed in order to do our best to eliminate all these greenhouse gas emission, especially methane, for example. And one of the easiest things that we can do as producers is basically to get all the low-hanging fruit, I guess, to all this the methane emission that is very easy to plug, and something that we have to take care of very quickly. Yeah.
Hello, everybody. While we wait for Margareta to come back, we're going to continue with the conversation. Thank you, Hazli, for that feedback. We're going to continue now with the future outlook for decarbonization. So this is pretty much to conclude our conversation before we move to the Q&A session. Could you please share your outlook on the future of decarbonization efforts in the Asia-Pacific region and how energy producers and consumers can play a role in accelerating progress? So Koji, would you please start?
Yeah, this argument about the climate and net zero issue have been mainly made in the Western countries, such as EU and USA. And sometimes it is narrated as a controversy between the developed and the developing countries. Situation of Asia Pacific is different because the cultural and economical conditions are diverse, and region include both energy supplying and consuming countries. Population is increasing and economic development is continuing. People have a right to have a safe and stable energy supply for their prosperity, and realistic solutions are required. I believe that we can make a progress of energy and environmental situation in the narrative of a cooperation, but not a controversy. And the technology and the scientific facts are quite important. We petroleum engineers have tackled with the uncertainties and complexity of the Mother Earth. So we may have an important role in bringing knowledge and expertise to people who are working to make a policy, regulation, and business project, and also for the usual people who will be give the fruit of our effort. It is very important.
All right, so I think we talk about decarbonization. How do you think, Hazli? How about your perspective?
I think the Asia Pacific countries are still committed with the decarbonization. I don't think there is any turning back for any of us. Again, it's very important that we help each other to move forward. What I said earlier, for example, in the program, for example, the stages in terms of maturity of this decarbonization effort of the different countries are different, and also the affordability to do this also different. Important for the country in the region to continue to work together to push the effort so that at least in the region we achieve our decarbonization efforts.
Okay, I think it's a good discussions today. I'm just worried about the policy that can be changed in the world. What do you think that decarbonization is still important in the APEC region? How do you think, Koji?
Yeah, of course, because the climate uncertainty is still a realistic risk. Many people, some people fear that the new administration of the United States can change the situation, but I don't think so. We cannot postpone the issue of future generation, but it should be realized with energy security of the region. Only the technology, such as the CCS, hydrogen, such technology of the decarbonization, also the decarbonization of fossil fuel can make it. Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah. How do you think about the policy change, Hazli? Do you have any reference or any thought about that?
No policy change yet. I think just again what I said earlier in terms of the policy maturity and regulation, the different between the different countries. So very difficult, I guess, to do businesses or trading because a lot of these policy uncertainties. And for the many of the companies, one of the, I guess, enabling factor is the right policies and the regulation. For example, I'm very thankful that in Malaysia, we work a lot with the Japanese parties, including Koji's company, in order to further mature the progress in technology and regulations. And also we learn from each other. And, hopefully together we can achieve the right policy that enable, I guess, decarbonization in the region. Yeah.
Oh, great. Thank you. Thank you so much for the point. We can move to the questions from the audience. We have questions number 1 from Francisco Paltini. Apart from the cost barrier, do you foresee any other issue that CCUS will be addressed?
Let me try that, Margareta, since I know Francisco. Thank you for listening in. I think something that I said earlier, Francisco, mainly on the policy and regulations. First, it is expensive. We need a policy and regulation. Technology, I think the companies are working hard towards that. And I truly believe only the oil and gas company will have the resources to further mature the technology and also the knowledge. So I think very important that we have the right policies and regulations for us to do so.
All right. Do you have any additions, comment from Koji?
Maybe the one possible obstacle of CCS is public acceptance, and usually public should know about how the storage CO2 is safe and stable. So it is our task, engineers' task, to insist them that we can make a safe operation. So public acceptance and communication with the usual people is very important, and the next task of maybe SPE.
Okay, as we near to the end of today's session, I would like to both of you to share your final reflections on the critical challenges and opportunities shaping the low carbon futures. So, Hazli, would you share the final thoughts?
Again, I think there is no turning back on decarbonization for Asia Pacific at least. What we need is basically how to drive the cost down, because currently the cost is still very expensive. And we need to have an enabling policy and regulation. Very important for all the countries to work together hand in hand to support each other. And finally, also, I think we believe all the companies and many countries in the Asia Pacific work very well with SPE, use SPE as a platform for knowledge and technological exchanges. I think we must continue to do so. We must also work, at least the energy producers must work with, for example, the regulators, with the host authorities, and so that we can further mature this, so that we can continue to produce the energy for the world. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Hazli. How about you? What is your final thought on these sessions, Mr. Koji?
Already I told the coordination and collaboration with the other stakeholders. Among the stakeholders, very important is now the number of the stakeholders increased. We have E&P companies have produced oil and sell it. We do not know about the fate of produced oil, but situation is now different. We need a very good coordination with the user side and the public people. So our task, engineers' task, is to give us a scientific and engineering and industrial reality to the people. Okay. It is my final talk.
Thank you, both of you. That brings us to the end of today's session. Thank you once again to our esteemed speaker, Mr. Hazli, Sham, Kassim, and Dr. Koji Yamamoto, and to all of you who joined us in these important conversations. This journey toward decarbonization is complex, but as we heard today, it's also full of opportunities. And it will take us to make progress, and look forward to see you at the future SPE Live events. Until then, stay safe and stay inspired.
Thanks for listening to the SPE Live podcast. For more content, visit the SPE Energy Stream, the industry's digital pulse, at streaming.spe.org. If you enjoyed today's show, don't forget to subscribe and review. Join us next time on the SPE Live podcast.